Whew. Is it hot today? But despite the heat, I love to get out here in my Kawasaki zero turn 24 horsepower. It's a pretty powerful 24 horsepower actually engine, and do a little bit of slashing mowing. I don't know what it does to me, but it just seems to relax me as I kick back from my very busy job. But this Dixon Kawasaki zero turn mower, it bites sometimes, and it bit me the other day. Let me tell you the story. Hasn't been working too well actually lately. This, and you can see it right here, this here has been falling off fairly regularly. And the other day the belt fell off and I couldn't get it back on, couldn't get it to stay, so we put it on this trailer, which is a pretty new trailer, and I took it to get fixed. Well, we got it fixed and then I brought it back here to the farm, and I'm by myself. Usually I'm with Hunty. I'm by myself. And I had to get it off this trailer. Now and I'm going to blame Hunty outright. He's our producer director behind the camera at the moment. It's very hard for him to say anything. So I'm going to blame him because they're his ramps. They're his ramps. So he lent me these ramps to get my zero turn off this trailer. Well, the problem was this, and I knew I had a bit of a problem, and it's quite tenuous. I got the zero turn back to here, and I got the back wheels up onto these ramps on either side, but the zero turn has a cutting deck which is pretty low. I knew this, but I thought I'd be okay, but I wasn't. Because as the cutting deck got to the ramp, it pushed the ramp back like this, and the ramp crashed to the ground. Now the problem was, and it's a big problem, I'm on the zero turn. And as the ramp collapsed, of course, so did the zero turn mower with me on it, and it bucked me off like a wild bucking bronco onto the ground. Now I hit the ground with a crunch. Some of you know I ride motorcycles. I've been riding motorcycles all my life, more or less. You know, you get into leathers, you're supposed to roll. There was no rolling. As this mower tipped up in the air and I went off, it happened so quickly. I hit the ground on my shoulder with a crunch. I hit my head, stitches in my head, and my shoulder damaged really bad, and I knew it. There's a great big, I took my shirt off, I don't do that often, a great big V in my collarbone, and I thought I'd broken my collarbone. Well, I got Hunty out here, he had to come an hour and a half as quick as he could, and I went into the hospital. Cut a long story short, got the x-rays. I hadn't broken my collarbone, but it was just as bad. I had a grade 2 muscle tear, and they call it a separated shoulder. And now I'm on a watch for a month, and the doctor will take me back in for x-rays to see whether or not I need an operation. Feels pretty good today, but it felt bad last night. A bad accident to end my Christmas holidays. In fact, I have had bad times over the break. Since I've been away from church on holidays, my auntie, she's 93 years of age, she died. Now, she was full of years, but I loved her. And she's a big supporter of my ministry, the Aussie pastor. And I'm going to miss her a lot. I'm going to miss her a lot. I spoke to her on the last day of her life. She passed away, and then my dad had an accident. A bad accident, more or less, as my auntie's passing away, and he's in hospital. He's been in hospital for 8 weeks, and it looks like he's headed to high care nursing. And so I think of my break and what a shocker it's been. Auntie died, Dad's in hospital, probably not coming home, and I damaged my shoulder, and it's one of those injuries that's going to be with me for life, in one way or another. I've been walking in the valley. And sometimes you've got to walk in the valley. That's not easy. Just for a few moments now, I want to go down to the bridge, just down the road. Beautiful place. I get into the shade, and I want to share with you how I and how you can walk through the valley. And here's the secret, I'll tell you right now. It's with Jesus. Let's go. This is the St. Albans Bridge. I don't know how long it's been here, maybe 100 years or more. I thought it was built by the convicts. Then I was told it was built even before then. And if you're going to my place, you got to come across this bridge. It's the only way you're getting across the McDonald River. Beautiful old bridge. Beautiful river to swim in, actually. Come summer, in fact, it's a hot day. I feel like swimming right now. Troubles, trials, valleys. If you're alive, you got no choice. You are going to suffer them. You're going to walk through the valley. You have no choice. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of us not walking through the valleys real well today. That's just a fact. We're not walking real well. So how do I walk through the valleys? Remember, I've had a bad Christmas. Auntie's gone, my dad's in trouble, and I've got a lifelong injury. So how do I walk through these valleys? Well, it's simple. I get into the presence of God. I got no other way of getting through. I'm in the presence of God. Now, there are a whole heap of ways you can get into the presence of God. But in this little series, I want to talk about 3. Bible study, daily. Prayer, continually. And the last one, surprising one, get to church. Let's talk about Bible study. I get into my Bible every single day without fail. I cannot remember the last day I was alive and I did not get into my Bible. Usually morning and night. Why? Because when I'm in the Bible, remember 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, and for righteousness. When I get into the Bible, I'm in the presence of Jesus. It's as simple as that. 99% of when Jesus talks to me is in the Bible. And he encourages me in the Bible. Every single day when I open the Bible in my Bible study, he encourages me as I walk through the valley. And I tell you, there are a whole lot of valleys I've been walking through of late, and I bet you have too. Look at this, Psalm chapter 34. I'm going to read a couple of verses from this psalm that I came across the other day as I was feeling down about my dad in hospital. Listen to this. Verse 4. I prayed to the Lord and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. Those who look to God, they'll be radiant with joy. In my desperation, verse 6, I prayed to the Lord and he listened and he saved me from all my troubles. For the angel of the Lord is a guard. He surrounds and defends all who fear him. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, the joys of those who take refuge in him. And I'm reading this and I'm down. And God is talking straight into my heart, down deep beyond where even I can go, and it's touching me and it's lifting me and it's encouraging me. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed, verse 18. And the whole psalm finishes in verse 22, but the Lord will redeem those who serve him. No one who takes refuge in him will be condemned. So my first point in this little series, you want to walk through the valley of trouble. You want to get through the struggles and the trials. You get into the Bible. You get into the Bible, you're in the presence of Jesus. And if you're in the presence of Jesus, you'll be okay.